Welcome back. It's Door Cream. I'm back from the dead. Hooray. Did you miss me? But anyway, today is September the 5th. And today, 40 years ago, this was the day when I Want to Be Your Lover by Prince was first picked up by radio stations and played. And basically what it would do is it would start off a chain reaction, bringing Prince's popularity to the fore. Okay, why I'm mentioning this is 40 years is a big milestone because I Want to Be Your Lover was the first single of this album, Prince. And I Want to Be Your Lover turned out to be Prince's first hit of any substance. To this point, Prince had already released his first album, For You, which had not done very well. I mean, he had released two singles from it, Soft and Wet, which was a very minor hit, and it got to number 92 on the white chart and 12 on the black charts. I mean, it sort of established him that, he was out there, but it didn't make him a star. And then, of course, the second song, Just As Long As We're Together, only just scraped into the black chart and failed the pop chart completely. And For You only sold about 150,000 copies. I mean, it made a minor black draw, but it did not bring him over to the public consciousness. Prince realised what he'd done wrong. He'd done too much emphasis on, trying to make the album sound sonically perfect. And so what happened was that if he wanted another hit, because he'd blown just about his entire budget Warner's had given him for the first three albums on For You, he needed to make something that was more poppy and more accessible. And whereas For You took 6 months to work, this album took just 4 weeks to record and 2 weeks of mixing. And one of the first songs he wrote for the project in March or April of '79 was I Want to Be Your Lover. And I Want to Be Your Lover is an irresistible piece of creamy pop, and it's also got a beautiful sort of ballad-lyric type feel to it. And even better, this is 1979, was I Want to Be Your Lover. It's got a really dancey, groovy beat. In some ways, this song was really innovative because Prince had really found this sort of cute pop mixture that seemed to cross over. The lyrics are really interesting. I mean, basically, it's a common theme. Prince is basically, he's a poor boy and he's a lonely boy because he's absolutely hot for this girl, but she ain't paying him the time of day, but he's so shy, he doesn't know how to act around it, but once they make love, he'll be everything she wants. She'll be her mother, her father, her sister, and her brother too. And for faithfulness undisguised, he wants to be the only one she comes for, basically. It's sung in a really creamy, beautiful falsetto. I mean, Prince basically starts to go, ain't got no money, ain't got those other guys you hang around. It's kind of funny, but they always seem to let you down. And I get discouraged, cause I never see you anymore. But I need your love, babe, yeah, that's all I'm living for. Yeah, didn't want to pressure you, baby, but all I ever wanted to do, I want to be your lover. It's just such a great, catchy, hook-driven beat. I mean, the hook was the best hook Prince had put on any music yet. I mean, it was a hit. It actually took quite a lot of time to catch fire, though. I mean, it was released on August the 22nd, 1979 in the States. It was not until November 1979 it reached the pop top 40, basically. It took a long time to make that climb. It crossed over into the black chart much earlier, hitting the black chart by the start of October and getting to the number 1 spot on November 28, 1979, staying there for 3 weeks. And the song became his first R&B number 1 hit. I mean, black people got into it, and of course, like most really good R&B hits from a new artist, what happened was they would cross over onto the white chart. And what happened was the song started to get into the top 40. That gave it wings. To promote it further, Prince appeared, I think it was on American Bandstand, and the song got up, and he was on. That was the famous appearance in early 1980 where Dick Clark went, so how long have you been playing music for, Prince? And Prince held up 4 fingers like that, and then he went, so how many instruments do you play, Prince? And Prince went, heaps. I play lots. He didn't say anything. He was real quiet and shy. Thank God he didn't appear on Soul Train, because Don would have got out and said, hey, introduce me to your band mates, and Prince would have been like, this guy playing the keyboards, that's Matt Fink, and this big oak tree looking brother over here is Andre. I mean, because you know what Don was like, and I mean, of course, he was old school black guy, so if you didn't answer him, he would feel like, you're snubbing him, basically. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest PR, but by that stage it didn't matter. The song leapt into the top 20, and incredibly, unlike most of other Prince's latest hits, this song spent 9 weeks in the top 20. It began that slow climb, peaking at number 11, I think, at the start of February 1980, and not dropping until the end of April 1980. This was a song, even though it only got to number 11 on the charts, I mean, it wasn't even a top 10 hit. It spent 3 weeks at a number 11, and the song managed to go platinum. Because it was such a slow burner and it had the big run on the black chart, it actually not only became a big hit for Prince, it made him known. You know, it definitely moved six copies of the Prince album, but it did not do enough to turn him into an established, bankable star because, as you know, he spent 3 more years into the doldrum until the 1999 singles broke through. But still, the song was a hit for the simple fact the melody was incredible. You know, it had a great hook. You could dance to it. It showed Prince had a really good falsetto voice. I think a lot of the 1979 was the perfect year for disco and falsetto singing. I mean, it sounded quite a lot like Michael Jackson. I think as one reviewer said it sounded like Michael Jackson with bigger balls, pretty much. And also, unlike Michael Jackson and a lot of other cute disco acts, Prince's song, if you listen closely, had some more colourful lyrics. I mean, I want to be the only one you come for. They could never do the things that I do to you. You know, I mean, the song is pretty dirty. I mean, how some of the lyrics got into, I mean, a bit about coming for, you know, I mean, people just kind of ignored it. It was just such a great song. I think that was probably the reason why it was a big hit too, because a lot of people saw it as a love song. You know, it was a song for lovers. You know, and there was a lot of novelty love. Fluffy disco pop ballads. I mean, you had everything from the sort of straight ahead disco of Donna Summer and Chic down to songs like Sad Eyes by Robert John. I absolutely love that song. You know, that could have almost been the same thing. I mean, and you look into those eyes, and how can you say no to him? You know. Now another story too about this cover is one of the rumors I heard, because this also appeared on some of the singles had a picture cover which also showed this image of Prince, was that some people said that they artificially darkened his skin here. This is not his natural skin color. He's been darkened slightly because this is about the blackest Prince has ever appeared on an album, pretty much. I mean, if you pick up all your Prince albums and singles, Prince does not generally look this dark. Normally Prince has a coffee colored skin, but here Prince's skin is pretty much proper black. You know, he's a very rich copper brown, sun brown color. And on the back too, you got the famous thing now. As I said, I mean, the album did not come out until October 1979, so there was actually a bit of a wait between Lover hitting the charts and the album. But the album came out and sold well. It also went platinum. It got up to number 21 on the American charts, and I think it got into the top 10 on the black chart. I think it probably got all the way up to about 5 or 6, and it was a big hit. I mean, unfortunately, the next song, Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, which had more of the same, Poor Boy Done Wrong, did not do quite so well. But still, it established Prince as a star. I mean, realistically, he should have released I Feel For You as the next single, because that is just such a great song. I talked about it in another Purple Gem. And, of course, it's also got Sexy Dancer, which I think is just incredible. You know what I mean? And, of course, The Shock of Bambi, which is about a lesbian, which Prince gives her the undisguised lyric, I'm going to show you what it's like to be loved by a man. And that's another thing, too. Like with the first album, I mean, Prince sings almost entirely in falsetto in this album. There's no him dropping into his deeper register. So that's the album. Now, I just want to quickly describe the single in other places. Now, besides America, this was really the first Prince song that was released around the world. This is a New Zealand single. I managed to buy this a few years ago. It still plays really well. I Want to Be Your Lover. And as in America, what might surprise you was the B-side. Because Prince had not been released yet, he actually put the song off For You, My Love Is Forever. And it's a slight song, but if you listen to it, it's got a very similar feel. I mean, it's got the same sort of groove, but of course less successfully done. You're always on my mind, get day and night. And it's actually got some very sort of I Want to Be Your Lover type synths to it. I mean, it's definitely heading in the same direction. It's definitely not a song that detracts. I think a lot of people would have bought the single and thought, My Love Is Forever, how come that isn't on the Prince album? Where can I buy that? Because honestly, For You saw so little promotion, especially outside of America. People had no idea where My Love Is Forever came from. And also, like in New Zealand, for instance, I mean, in some other markets, I mean, For You wasn't even released until the Purple Rain era, basically. I mean, my pressing is clearly Purple Rain because there was that ad for all the Purple Rain albums and Apollonia 6 and everything in there. And I mean, like, now I know that wasn't stuck in there in 78, but probably 85 seems more likely. Now, also, too, so in Britain, it was released there, it only got to 41 on the charts, but the main thing was it charted and it made people know who this Prince guy was. As you know, Prince would not really catch fire in Britain until 1984. And, of course, Australia did fairly well. I think it got into the 20s there. I mean, I know that Controversy was a big hit there in 81. Also, some European markets became a minor hit. But the one place where I Want to Be Your Lover was a massive hit, might shock you, was my home country, New Zealand. It got all the way up to number 3 in March 1980. It was kept out of the top spot by the two songs that kept it out will make you guys laugh. The number 2 song was, Little Sister by Rai Kuta. For some reason, that song was a massive hit amongst the Maoris. The Maoris at the Fututaki pub, that type of thing. And then number 1 song was another Maori act. I know Rai Kuta's American, but that song really called Maoris. But there was a Maori singer called John Stevens. Some of you Australians might remember him because he later became the lead singer of Noiseworks. He had a couple of big hits at this time, and there was one hit called Jezebel. And he went smooth talking, sly walking, Jezebel. I mean, John Stevens had an amazing voice. And they say he was married, but really he was about as married as me, like probably less than a quarter. But this is New Zealand. I mean, someone's got one drop of married blood, you have to admit it, basically, otherwise you're just racist. You know, so that kept I Want to Be a Lover out of the #1 spot. It was a big hit, went gold in this country. But again, it did not do enough to give Prince a lasting career. I mean, Dirty Mind wasn't even released here. Same with Controversy. I mean, Prince would not hit the charts again until 1999, became a #4 hit in 1983. But anyway, so that might shock you. So this might be rare, you think, but this is a New Zealand pressing I Want to Be Your Lover, so it's a common single. Just wanted to come back with a bang because I think I Want to Be Your Lover is an amazing song. I mean, and also too, I mean, I know it's not been much from the rest of the community. I mean, even Prince's friend has gone into hiatus. I find it really weird. Mr. Ants, just for you, I loved your reinterpretation of I Wish You Heaven, and you did the singing with that gay ass part from the video where it's got like his lips inside the love heart. You know, it goes do 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 do. Still, I wish you heaven. I wish you love. I wish you heaven. I wish you heaven. That just try and put a love heart around that. That might make you laugh. That's of my conviction. Follow where we go. And speaking of that song, realistically, some of the falsetto on that really does follow on from I Want to Be a Lover. Anyway, 11 minutes must be a record for a purple gem, but I Want to Be Your Lover is an amazing song. It's really the song that kind of introduced Prince to the world big time. You know, it didn't turn him into the big crossover smash that 1999 and Purple Rain did, but it was enough to get him there. I mean, people knew who this Prince guy was. They thought, well, this is this Michael Jackson looking dude with like this blow-waved hair, and he sings like a girl, but you know, he sings a song about making women come for him, you know, so yeah, what a cool song. So there you are, I Want to Be Your Lover. I mean, it's on all the greatest hits albums. I mean, if you haven't heard it, you know. And just finally, I mean, I just realised one thing I've missed out completely. There's two versions. There's this short version which fades off after the I Want to Be the Only One You Come For, but then there's the long version on the album, which is 5:50, and that includes a really great funk breakdown. It's got like the you got basses, you got guitars, you got keyboards, you got a great synth line, and you've also, and you can hear some of the synth codes. You can hear like, you know, like the I Feel For You synths coming through. It's really good, really, really funky. I mean, it's even more danceable. I'm sure the 12-inch version of I Want to Be a Lover, there was one, would have, you know, people just dancing their asses off to it on the dance floor. It's just amazing. I mean, you've just got to hear the whole version of this song. And then, of course, finally, and the song, of course, yes, was about Patrice Rushen. Prince had a crush on her, but she wasn't paying any attention, basically. And there you are. I Want to Be Your Lover. I Want to Be the Only One You Come For. What a great song.